And welcome to our November edition of Sports Highlights, our monthly program since February of 1992. Glad you're with us. Greg Picaveras and our crew on location. Our show airs on Mondays at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m., and weekends at 9 a.m. on Cox Cable, 47517, YouTube, and social media as well. Well, back outside, Sports Highlights on the road, this time in the city of Hampton, talking skateboarding here. Geneva Hill, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us, how long did you get involved in skateboarding? How did you get involved?
I actually used to hate it, but my brother, he started doing it. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever, but then I tried it, and then it was like, oh my goodness, this is so fun. I love it because you can actually learn new things, and the skills are amazing, and it's freeing. Like the vibe, I like the positive vibes of it.
Right. How many years have you been skateboarding?
I'd say 5.
That's great.
5.
When you talk about this park, let's talk about this place here. What's so nice about it?
I actually just got here, but I like the metal ramp. I like the mini ramp a lot. And I like the fact you can do big tricks on the big ramp right there. You can't see it, but I like how it's open and the trees and stuff like that. It's beautiful.
Right, a lot of nice scenery.
Fresh air.
Yeah, that's different from indoors, correct?
Yeah, my home park is Miko's. I'm telling you, I live there. I live there forever.
Right.
But I teach there as well, so this is a break to be out here. But I love Miko's. They have the best indoor park around here. About the only one around here. You'd have to go to North Carolina next.
And skateboarding is something you can do with a group or by yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. I have sessions where I can come in here or at Miko's and just work for 3 hours myself. Or when it's crowded and you have a lot of people, you can get the thing about it is when you have a lot of people around, then you have the vibe of people working together, and that's good too.
Now I see you got knee pads. As you know, skateboarding, you have a lot of falls, so talk about the importance of equipment.
Oh my goodness, I wear knee pads all the time, for real. I wouldn't have knees if I didn't have knee pads on. A lot of people don't. I choose to, because like I said, I like the mini ramp. I like vert a lot. So you're gonna fall a lot. And I always wear a helmet. I don't have one on, obviously, but I always wear one when I skate. I always wear elbow guards because I fall on my hands, my elbow pads. And I think it's a good example for the kids I teach too. It's okay to wear pads.
Right.
It doesn't matter what people call you, just wear them.
Because if you want to sustain in skateboarding, you need to have the right equipment.
Yeah, I'd rather be not cool in someone's eyes and be able to go home later fully functional than be cool and go home with a broken leg.
Right,
Totally.
Talking to Geneva Hill here, we're talking about the wonderful sport of skateboarding.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and when you talk about it, right here, this facility alone, whether it's just the metal bars or the ramps, or the inclines, there's definitely an obstacle course.
Oh my gosh, creativity. Skateboarding is creativity. You can literally have just that one thing right there, and you can do so much with it. Or you can have just one concrete block on the floor. You can do grinds all day. This is what I love about skateboarding. It's so creative. You have to think and use your brain, what can I do? And it also pushes you beyond your limits. You can push your limits and say, I don't know how many times I've thought, I can't do that, and then I do it and I am thrilled. I don't have words.
Yeah, but just the surface of concrete compared to indoors is a hard fall.
Oh my goodness, it's such a difference. That's why I'm not really skating a lot on the flat, because I'm not used to it. But there are people who are used to the concrete, and the indoors is too slippery. So there's different surfaces to skate on, and depends on how you skate, how you're raised.
Right.
There are people in rough spots, this is normal. I like indoors more, but I can do outdoors too.
This is our November edition. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and talk about the wonderful sport of skateboarding, adding quality of life to young and old both. And what do you recommend? What do you tell some of the students that you teach on a day-to-day basis, the biggest lessons?
When you're gonna go for a trick, the biggest thing I tell them is you can do it. Go for it, go full send. In skateboarding, that means give your best. I never discourage them. And if it's something that you feel you can't do, don't do it. Come back the next day. But when you feel that little inkling you can go for it, please go for it. Please go for it, because there's so much in you. That's what I tell them.
Right, because confidence means a lot, because you're not having it, you're not feeling it that day mentally, you probably shouldn't skateboard.
No, there are some things that I personally do now. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to do it because I know there's more injury likely to happen. But I would tell anyone who wants to do it, you're going to get hurt. That's another thing I tell them. You're going to get hurt. You're going to fall. But it's just a matter of getting up again. Get up again. So get up again and try it and do it. It's so much of a reward.
You're holding your skateboard. Is there
yeah.
some maintenance that goes behind it with the wheels?
Oh,
And
yeah.
What do you check on a regular basis?
Well, let's see. I check to make sure that obviously these are tight. I honestly haven't tightened these for a while because these stay the same. You check your deck, obviously, like once it gets like, if this starts wearing down to this, then you have razor tail. You've been doing this. I always check here, make sure this bolt's tight enough or not too tight because you want your wheel to shake a little bit, but not too much. I just make sure, these are very important. This will determine how tight or loose it's gonna be. So if you want it to be looser, you just make this looser. You're gonna have more bend on it. See? Now if I loosen it up, it would be more. It's all preference, okay?
Right, a little show and tell there with
Yeah.
Geneva. Talking skateboarding here on our November edition of Sports Highlights, and that's very important too, having the right equipment, and of course you mentioned your helmet, your knee pads, your stuff on your hands as well. I really think the more prepared you are and the more willing to learn, the better you'll do.
Another thing I want to elaborate on that is it's 90% mental. I've told that so many times. If you think you can do it, then you can do it.
Yeah.
So be prepared, get your pads on if you so choose, and then just think, I can do this. And be respectful of others too, you know. If they can't do it yet, encourage them.
You gotta have empathy all the time.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Talking to Geneva, one thing folks you might see, surfing, they get to fall in the water or a wave. Here they fall on concrete, and surfing, and then you see the kids now riding these scooters. It's all kind of a form of skateboarding. Some of the balance.
Scooters are actually, I know a few people personally who are really good at scooters. It's like scooters, skateboards, bikes. I've seen people do flips on bikes, which is utterly amazing. It's all part of the creative process. You can, imagine what you can do and do it.
Right.
That's what I love about the skateboarding world. Oh my goodness, it's fun. You can do it without having you don't have to have all the junk in it. Just have fun with it.
All right, leave us a good thought. You said a lot of it's mental. What else is it that you recommend?
Have fun and trust God that He created you to be the best you can be at this all the time.
Right, very good. All the best to you. That was Geneva Hill right there in our first segment of our November edition of Sports Highlights on the Road. We'll come back with our second segment as Sports Highlights rolls on in November.
I want to be a historian.
I want to be a marine scientist.
I want to be an oceanographer.
I want to be an astronaut.
I want to be a zoologist.
I want to be an engineer.
Virginia is rich in educational resources.
Virginia is for.
Virginia is for.
Virginia is for. Virginia is for.
Virginia's for learners.
And welcome back to our second segment, Sports Highlights on the Road, talking the wonderful sport of skateboarding here at Hampton's beautiful skateboarding park off of Woodland Road in Hampton. Hope you enjoyed our first guest, Geneva Hill. Now let's shift gears to Fuquan Johns. He's a 2016 graduate of our own Warwick High School. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to see you.
Did you start skateboarding at a young age or when you went to Warwick?
Yeah, I started skateboarding at the age of 10.
actually. So yeah.
Where did you skateboard at? Pretty much anywhere, right?
Everywhere. Honestly, this was my first ramp I ever dropped in at, so this is my first skate park ever.
What do you think about this ramp and this park here?
It's a nice park, but it could I would say definitely be remade, but it's a great park, honestly. It's a great park.
It really is. It's outdoors by the golf course and the tennis courts.
Training.
Let's talk about some of the different ramps out here. What about this facility right here?
Oh, this is the pump ramp. It's a really nice little ramp. You're trying to learn how to gain speed, and it's it transfers over to like pool skating. Once you start skating at pools, you're learning how to pump and car pools. This place is this is just great just for learning how to just pump, and it's so fun. It's so fun. You keep going, you'll gain like so much speed. Oh, it's so fun.
And when you fall down, Fuquan, you fall down a little bit of dirt and gravel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, take us to the middle now.
All right, so in the middle, you have of course, the quarter pipe. Drop in on the quarter pipe, and then you have the launch ramp. Usually a lot of BMXers be on this. This is where they just get it down, BMX and the scootering. And this is just a nice little, cool little area. My favorite part is probably the flat bars all throughout here. That nice little blue kink one that goes up. That one's really cool. The flat bar at the back, that's really fun. This little fun box spot, it reminds me kind of like a fingerboard skate park, really. This place is cool.
Now, I saw that you fell down a little bit on that little miniature bar. Talk about that one with two wheels right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was trying to do a backside feeble grind and just under popped a little bit, and the board just went under it. So really just come next to it, just popping on top of it, but that little shootout really will shoot you out. So you have to be on top of it, but before you get back up, you get ready to do it again. You do it again, and then it feels so much better,
Yeah, it's very humbling talking about the wonderful sport of skateboarding. And the one thing, too, it's very humbling, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time.
Yeah. Well, you talk about the right mindset and equipment that Geneva was talking about. Do you talk about your skateboard?
Oh, man.
And how long does an average skateboard last for?
Well, board-wise, because I skate about every single day, it will probably last me a week if I'm lucky. About 2 to 3 days, though, usually. But a week if I'm lucky. If it's a really good board, a month. But I usually don't have it. I break boards really fast. I'm riding 149 into Thunder trucks. Honestly, Thunder Lights is my favorite. It helps it to flip faster, helps it to flip smoother. I'm riding 54 wheels, Spitfires, which is, in my opinion, the best wheels ever. My board size is an 8.5 right now because I'm a taller dude, bigger feet, and yeah, limb board. Yep, 8.5 limb board. Really cool. Absolutely.
Do you clean your board up, or do you take it to a shop, or how do you do it?
I usually just keep updating, up like a car, you keep upgrading it. Something goes bad, you just place that part and just keep it going.
Very good, very good.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give to young skateboarders?
Young skaters, I would definitely say never let falls really make you stop skateboarding, but also learn from every single fall, every single mistake. Don't be like, oh, it's me. Also, taking advice that it could be your equipment.
Right.
The most important thing about skateboarding is the equipment, and I didn't know that for so many years until I started getting better, and when I started being able to get more boards when I needed it, however I needed it. But biggest advice, just keep skating, have fun. Oh my God, it's the greatest sport probably, in my opinion, in the world, and just have fun, keep fresh gear.
Talking like the professor here, our buddy
Absolutely.
Fuquan, who went to Warwick High School, talking about the wonderful sport of skateboarding. And I was telling Geneva, the surfers, the guys that ride the scooters, it's all kind of mindset.
It all is.
Do you like those at all?
Absolutely.
Have you surfed at all?
I never surfed, but I could definitely tell you it's definitely mindset. It's definitely mindset. Because it's the secret to skateboarding to get better is figure it out of your mind and see yourself do it in your mind, and then mimic what you just did in your mind. And that's really the secret.
Yeah, indoors and outdoors. Of course, outdoors you're worried about the weather sometimes.
Yes.
It's hard to skateboard in the rain probably, isn't it?
Yeah, oh definitely. We're not skating in the rain.
Right.
But definitely the thing about outdoor parks like this is the ground. It could be more hardening. If you fall, it takes more toll on your body. So that's why we hit indoor parks. And
all right, the average person driving by, they'll go by Warwick Boulevard, they'll see a bunch of kids skateboarding on stairs. What is the fascination of stairs and skateboarding?
Skateboarding stairs, it's like you're floating in the air. So if you do a trick, it's the board just levitating under you, and then you catch it, and when you catch it, you could feel the board stop. You can also hear it too. It's and you hear it and then you just put it down. It just feels so great to ride away from that because it just takes so much more effort and fear and conquering to do that. In my opinion, it's probably my favorite.
All right, since we're on the school system channel and you went to Warwick High School,
Absolutely.
talk about some of your favorite classes at Warwick and how you enjoyed academics, athletics, and activities.
Absolutely. My favorite classes at work was art school. Like art class was the greatest because it just allowed me to be just as free as I am on a skateboard in class, you know, just drawing and just creating and just being free.
You seem like you like to be free and independent.
Absolutely, very.
Not told what to do either, right? No. This is Fuquan Johns right here talking about skateboarding here on Sports Highlights on the Road in November. And you talk about sometimes mental release after a rough day.
Yes.
Skateboarding is great therapy.
Yes, absolutely. I skateboard every single day because of therapy. It's everything.
Yeah. Do you like to skate by yourself or with a group?
I skate by myself when I'm in training mode, but I like to skate with a group when I'm like, I just want to have fun, you know? But I like to do both. Definitely, when I'm by myself, I like to still challenge myself because it's a lot easier to get like, all right, I'm not going to learn this trick because I don't need to right now because my friends are already, you know? But I like to just stay, you know, keep progressing.
Right. Now, how about tournaments or competitions over the years? Have you been involved in any?
Yes, I've been involved in a few competitions actually. I've been in the Best Foot Forward contest, put it on by Zoomies. I've been on a Hard Time Skate Shop, Skate Days contest. I've been in a couple Mikos contests. I'm not the greatest at contest skating. It's a lot of pressure on me, but I think it's still fun. You're there, you see all your friends, you're seeing everyone's killing it. It's very inspiring too.
You said you've been skateboarding since you've been 10 years old. That's a long time.
Yes.
And you talk about Mikos here. Where are some of the places, random places even, that you've skateboarded at?
Oh man, Nike Skate Park out in Carrollton. I've been down to Georgia to skate at the Street League Skate Park. I've been down to North Carolina to skate, like Raleigh skate parks. Yeah, I like to travel.
You've seen some of the lot bigger inclines than this?
Yes, way better. But this being the first skate park ever like I've been to, this place like trained my mind because this information here, it keeps going. It travels everywhere.
And I guess the key thing too is not to do too much too quick.
Yes.
To be in your own space, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Don't try to keep up with nobody. Just stay in your own zone. Absolutely.
Because the more you don't, the more you fall down.
Absolutely.
All
Get in your
right, final
head.
few moments here with Fuquan Johns here talking the sport of skateboarding here in Hampton. What's good about this location is convenient for people in the peninsula and the south side.
Yes,
and it's free, correct?
Absolutely. Very free.
There are no hours here.
No, absolutely not.
But you would recommend skateboarding at night out here.
No, that'll do.
Because there's no lights
No
out
lights
here.
at all, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. When you talk about your future with it, how do you want to evolve with the sport?
Oh man, I just want to get better. Hopefully I can have an input in the game as in like teaching skaters around the area, help them get better, give them some insight, put some belief in them so they can know that they can do it too. Like, just get better.
Now, notice you're wearing light clothing. You would probably recommend that all the time. You don't want to wear something heavy when you're skateboarding.
Super heavy, nah, doesn't work.
Do you prefer indoors or outdoors?
I prefer outdoors.
Yeah.
Outdoors, but when I'm in training mode, indoors, because you know the weather and everything, when the seasons start changing, indoors. But outdoors is definitely like that sun, I don't know, it's just that information just comes to you.
And it just seems like you mentioned art, that it's a creative outlet for so many young and old.
Absolutely.
Talk about that creativity.
Absolutely. Everyone has their own style in skateboarding, like the obstacles they choose to skate and the tricks they choose to do. So that's like their skateboard and them skating, it's like they're the art in the canvas and they're just skating. They're just creating this art and it's certain like pattern. They're probably doing this trick in a certain pattern and it's just like you realize it and then it's super creative, super outgoing, super free.
Do you have a routine that you do every time or you like to mix it up?
I like to mix it up, but I usually got like a certain I do like a board slide and a 50 grind and then like back feeble, usually just like warm up the tricks to put the boards in different areas. Usually that's how I go, like that, then that, you know.
You mentioned skateboards, the shelf life. How many do you go through in a year?
In a year? If I was to guess, like roughly, I would say like 20 a year.
Have you seen them break in half before?
Oh, I break boards like every single day.
Why is that? How is that happening?
I'm really heavy, and also, so I learned that skateboards, they every time you do a trick, they weaken. Every single time, no matter if you do an ollie or like a lip slide. So every time you do a trick, they weaken. My goal is to do a new trick every single day. So I'm now weakening the board even more because I'm learning a new trick today, which so it just keeps going. So once I break that board, I don't usually think about it like I got to start over. I'm still at this level where I can just keep going. So the board may break or it may last longer depending on how I'm skating.
And what's your advice for young and old?
Oh, young and old, just have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, and don't take it too serious.
Very good. Well, great sport, great ambassador for skateboarding here. Fuquan Johns, he skateboards here in several different places in Hampton Roads since he's been a young kid. Sports highlights will continue after this.
You're watching NNPS TV. Catch sports highlights on Mondays at 7, 2, and 7, and on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. Visit us online at nnpstv.com to view all your favorite episodes. NNPS TV, watching education happen.
Ultimate Frisbee is a team sport in which players seek to score points by passing a Frisbee to a teammate over the opposing team's goal line. For more information, contact your local recreation center.
And welcome to our third segment of Sports Highlights on the Road. Happy Thanksgiving, our November edition. What better way to spend it than the beautiful outdoors here in Hampton, talking about skateboarding. Hope you watch Sports Highlights on social media as well. Tell your friends. Here with Ray Price and Brendan Hedgepath. Max Vanagast, good to see you.
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Now, you skateboarded both on the West Coast and the East Coast. What's the biggest difference?
I actually surfed on the West Coast, and when I moved here, there's no surf. Well, there is, but you got to wait long periods. So I started skating here. And when I first started, there was none of these parks, so we're very lucky to have all these built.
You mentioned surf. I mean, we do have Virginia Beach and Nags Head, but the waves are not as big as, let's say, Los Angeles and San Diego.
No, yes,
correct?
we have much more consistent swell out on the West Coast than we do here. Now, we do have hurricane season, and you score, but it's not as consistent. So,
right.
Yes.
Now,
skateboarding, the conditions are always.
Yeah, you're right. Indoors and outdoors both. And one thing about skateboarding and surfing, they kind of like are distant cousins, right?
Yes, it's balance on both.
Right.
Only cement hurts a little more.
What do you enjoy the most, the indoors or the outdoors?
Melissa over there that owns Miko's is wonderful to have in the middle of the summer. Unlike the West Coast, we have god-awful humidity. So in the middle of the summer, it's wonderful to have a place to go inside. And also in the middle of the winter, unlike the West Coast, it's brutal here. So it's wonderful to have a place to go indoors. But it's also great outdoors when it's nice like this.
Yeah, what do you, you seem like you have a lot of energy. What do you enjoy the most out here when you're out this park?
This thing's new and interesting. I'm trying not to kill myself on that. It's pretty, I spent a lot of time here when I was younger by myself learning tricks on all these smaller obstacles. So I spent a good portion. I haven't been here in a couple years because we've got a plethora of Virginia Beach and Chesapeake parks and stuff that are nice now, but it's good to be back to where I learned.
And this is convenient to both sides of the water. What parks as far as on the south side do you enjoy the most?
I skate Woodstock a lot, Trashmore, and over on the peninsula there, Miko's.
Very nice, very nice. Talking to Max Vanagast here in our November edition of Sports Highlights on the Road about skateboarding as well. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to skateboard for the first time?
Lots of repetition and learn how to fall. Mm-hmm. Falling's half the battle. I tell people that I fall much better than I skate.
Right, but I don't see you wearing knee pads though.
Oh, no. I'm good at the dive roll. It's too hot.
Yeah, I hear you, definitely. When you talk about the inclines here and the different ramps, is there a certain one that you like to do the most? You mentioned repetition.
I have learned, these are good medium size. You're still going to fall, but yeah, to learn a skateboard trick takes about 300 tries till you get it. So lots of repetition. It's nice to have smaller obstacles to learn things on. What she's on over there, I learned a large amount of moves on.
Yeah, and I see sometimes people go forward and they go backwards. What's more difficult?
Well, going backwards.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. Some people have, I can't personally do it. It's switch skating. It would be ambidextrous is what you would call it. You can use both feet. I'm just a one-way person. I can't do all that. But the younger kids, they can do everything with both feet.
And skateboarding is something you have to be multitasking all the time. And vision is so important.
Yeah. But you know, anyone can do it. You don't have to be a pro. You can come out here and just roll around and have a good time. So it's for anybody.
Right, but
and it's inexpensive.
Right. Pretty much just need if you want to have knee pads, whatever, a helmet.
You can get all that.
You can get all that.
It's good to start with, especially the kids.
Fuquan says he goes through dozens of skateboards a year. What about you?
Yeah. Same here. I got a stack at home about this tall of old ones.
Yeah.
No, I go through quite a bit of them.
Right. As far as day to day, as far as enhancing the sport to grow it, how do you see it growing over the years? How many Tony Hawks are out there?
Little kids today, because the videos are so extreme. They watch that now and they think that's what they got to do. So an 8-year-old is a professional now. So I like to skate before all the teenagers get here, so that they make me look bad. So I get out of here before.
Have you watched some videos over the years?
I watch videos every day. I know skaters. Also, if you want to get motivated, watch a skate video with your skill set. Don't watch someone dropping down a 30-down trail. You don't have to do that to have fun. You can do small.
Because they've done the skateboarding at the X Games too, correct?
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. There's all sorts of. Let's see. There's Street League. There's they've got skateboard contests all over the place.
Exactly. Who do you look up to professionally? Who do you admire?
My favorite skater is Dustin Dillon.
What do you admire about him the most?
He's my age and he can still jump down very large things. In fact, he's a little bit older than me, which gives me hope. It means I can still do it.
How did Tony Hawk get so popular?
He's been when he did the 900, that made his name, and he's the first person to have a video game named after him. So that kind of solidified his. When he did the 900, I guess in the X Games, that I read it the other day. It took him 10 years to learn that, and he lost 3 teeth. But
how long do people skateboard for? I know there's young and old both doing it.
Oh, how old?
Yeah.
Jeez, Steve Caballero is like. People are in their 50s and 60s now and can still skate,
That's great.
Plus, the healthcare is better now, so, an ACL injury is not going to end it these days.
Very good. Max, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you guys.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
All right, that was Max Vanagast right there talking about the wonderful sport of skateboarding here in Hampton on Sports Highlights on the Road. I want to thank Melissa. I want to thank all of our great guests today, Geneva Hill, Fuquan Johns, and of course Max Vanagast, Ray Price, and Brendan Hedgepath on location here in Hampton. Really, skateboarding is a lot of fun. It's outdoors, and you can be yourself and be creative at the same time. I'm Greg Picaveras. Happy November, and we'll talk to you soon.